So here's the big question. How are entrepreneurs like us, who have been hustling and struggling to make it to success, who seem to make it one step forward only to fall two steps back, who are dedicated, determined, and driven, how do we finally break through and win? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Brian Kelly, and this is the Mind, Body, Business Show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Mind, Body, Business Show. We have another phenomenal guest lined up for you tonight. Can't wait for you to meet him. His name is Alex Kuhn. He's an amazing young man from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Steelers almost did it, but maybe next year. All right. The Mind, Body, Business Show. What is that all about? It is about what I call the three pillars of success. About 10 years ago, a little bit more than that now, I began studying only successful people. And during that time, these are people between people I knew personally that were my mentors, that I would share the stage with them and speak on their behalf and train their students, to authors, some who I've met, some who are no longer with us, and everywhere in between, but only successful people. And I found that they had these three patterns. These three patterns kept bubbling to the top, and it was bar none. And you can guess what those three patterns might be. Mind is the first one. Mind is each and every one of them had a super powerful yet incredibly flexible mindset. Very key. The second was body. Is literally they took care of their body nutritionally through exercise. Now look, if you're a guy, that didn't mean that they were becoming an Arnold Schwarzenegger back in his heyday and working out to become a bodybuilder, nor were they as a female, they were a supermodel. It just meant they took care of themselves and they exercised on a regular basis. And that's phenomenal because the mind and body, let's face it, the mind and body are a team. And more importantly, they are your team. And if any one member of that team, and my guest will know all about this one, is not doing what they should be, if they did not come to the table operating at a peak level of performance, then the entire team suffers, doesn't it? Yes, the answer is yes, it does. And business, that is a multifaceted area where these successful people had mastered the skill sets that are required to operate a successful business. And there are things like marketing, sales, team building, systematizing, leadership. I mean, it goes on and on and on. The list is almost endless. And here's the thing. Yes, they mastered each of these areas, but the key is they didn't master them themselves. There is one skill set that if you were to master it, and we have a master in the house tonight. Yes, he's coming on very soon. Alex Kuhn, in one area, that if you master this one area, then all of those other skill sets are not necessary for you to master personally. And that one skill set is, you might guess it, it's leadership. Leadership. And if you master that one skill set of leadership, you are now able and empowered to delegate to those who do have those skill sets, that have mastered those skill sets. So there you go. The Mind, Body, Business Show. It's a show for entrepreneurs by entrepreneurs. And we only bring on the best of the best, the most successful entrepreneurs that come on this show, like Alex Kuhn. He's coming on here in just a moment, I promise. And another phenomenal trait of very successful people is, to a person, they're very avid readers of books. And with that, I'd like to affectionately move over to a segment I call Bookmarks.
Bookmarks. Born to read. Bookmarks. Ready, steady, read. Bookmarks. Brought to you by reachyourpeaklibrary.com.
There you see it, reachyourpeaklibrary.com. For those of you watching live, and even if you're watching the recording of the video or even on audio podcast, I would like to just give you a quick tip, and that is take out something to write with and take notes. I'm going to be doing it here. I'm already taking notes here. And the reason is because a lot of people will want to click away. They'll type in these resources and try to click and go find out and look. And when you do that, you're taking your attention away from this show. More importantly, away from Alex Kuhn. He's the expert. He's the one I invited on this show. He's the one you want to listen to. And I would hate for you to take your gaze and your concentration away from the screen at that very moment that he gives that golden nugget that could have changed your life forever. And this has happened in the past. That's why I bring it up, especially on physical stages. I see when from the stages I'm speaking, I'll see a student get up and leave the room to go to the restroom or something right when I know a very important nugget is about to be spoken about, because I'm the one doing it, right? So please stay with us as much as you possibly can. Take notes and then visit all of these resources after the show. That way you get the most out of the show. The magic, as we say, happens in the room. All right, off of my soapbox, but that is really for you. And another thing that is for you is reachyourpeaklibrary.com. I literally had this built with you in mind. May sound cheesy, but it is the honest truth. This isn't here for me. This is here for you. And what it is a collection of the books that I have personally read and I vetted that had some positive effect, mostly profound, in either business or personal or both of my lifestyle. So that is there for you. There's book after book after book. Here's the thing. I didn't start reading voraciously until about the age of 47 or so. I'm 56 now. I didn't realize the importance of it until late in the game. And I'm so blessed that I learned and then took action, because it's a game changer. So reachyourpeaklibrary.com, that's a resource for you to go to and just click those buttons. That takes you straight to Amazon, and you can buy the book in the form you like, Audible, paperback, hardback, whatever is available, and get to reading. Speaking of reading and getting to it, let's get to it. Let's bring on the man, the myth, the legend right now. Here we go.
It's time for the Guest Expert Spotlight. Savvy, skillful, professional, adept, trained, big league, qualified.
There he is, ladies and gentlemen. It is him, the one, the only, Mr. Alex Kuhn. Yeah.
Ryan, so good to be here. Thank you.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Man, it's awfully bright over there in Pittsburgh, and it's dark here in California. What is up with that?
I took your recommendation, and we've got some incredible lighting here.
You sure do.
But I will tell you, everything that's set up that makes this, my office and studio, look amazing has nothing to do with me. So that's my first lesson, is that when you're a leader, you can't do it all by yourself. And in fact, when you really stink at something, you just let the people that are great do it. So
off to a blazing start. I love it. All right, so we're going to take care of a little bit of housekeeping first. This show is sponsored by, you see them up right above Alex's head, thebiginsidersecrets.com. It's on the red circle there. And what they have offered and provide to us is the ability to give away each and every show a 5-night stay at a 5-star luxury resort. Again, compliments of the Big Insider Secrets. Every single show, so stick with us to the very end, and you must be here live to win. But we will give you the information on how you can go about winning. It's really simple, and it's actually a little bit of fun, because who wouldn't want to go somewhere? I mean, we're close. I think we're going to be able to move about the world very, very soon. So, and we have yet another. So if you're struggling with putting a live show together and it's overwhelming, and let's say you want a lot of the processes done for you while still enabling you to put on a high quality show, which is very important, and to connect with great people like Alex and grow your business all at the same time, it's a lot of work, ladies and gentlemen. Then head over to carpetbombmarketing.com. Carpet Bomb Marketing, saturate the marketplace with your message and make it a lot simpler. And then one of the key components that is contained in the Carpet Bomb Marketing courses, one that you'll learn how to absolutely master, is the very service we use to stream our live shows right here on the Mind Body Business Show. Now, over the course of the past more than 9 years now, we have tried many of those quote unquote TV studio solutions, for live streaming. And I'll tell you, StreamYard is the best of the best. It combines supreme ease of use along with unmatched functionality. So you can start streaming high quality, professional looking live shows for free with StreamYard right now. Okay, not right now. Stick with us on the show. Write this down. You'll want to go to the website, ryp.im/streamlive. One more time, that's ryp.im/streamlive. And now we will finally, officially, formally welcome this amazing young man to the show, Alex Kuhn, the founder of Born to Lead. He helps impact-driven entrepreneurs start, grow, and lead 6, 7, and 8-figure businesses. Ah, man, it's juicy already. Over the past 3 years, over 200 clients have at least doubled their business in 12 months. That's results, ladies and gentlemen, with his clients generating more than, get this, $30 million. He's been featured in Entrepreneur. He regularly writes and speaks to over 10,000 entrepreneurs on a weekly basis on the topics of aligned leadership, business flow, and resonance marketing. Now, having failed in his first 3 ventures, the key for him and his clients has been discovering their quote unquote success DNA. That's trademarked, by the way, or learning how to build the business model around the leader's unique, innate leadership gifts. This sounds awesome. He wants every big vision, heart-led entrepreneur to know that they are not that far off and to never forget that they were born to lead a legacy. That is a powerful intro of the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Alex Kuhn. So happy you're here, my man. This is going to be a great, great show. I can just feel it. I know it.
It's going to be the best one, Brian. I always want to bring the best, and especially when you deliver the best, let's just make it happen.
You know, and when we first met, literally a half hour before we started this show, I just instantly, I felt your energy. You know, you just came on and I could tell you're one of those amazing, authentic people that has great integrity and great character. It was so obvious and evident right from the get-go. And the fact that you went through what you did just to get on this show, that tells a lot by itself, because there's quite a process, isn't there? But we won't go into that right now, but that's a part of building a high quality show. And it's not, the show is not for me. This is for him. This is to bring Alex to the forefront so that those that have never possibly heard of him or his company before now can learn not just what he does. We're going to learn that. Also, what he does to make it successful. That's the key for everyone, because we all have different businesses. We all do different things. And the good news is, if you're in business and you need help, you're in the right place. This is the man to come to. And he has a team, and they've done this. You heard in the intro. He can do it. He can get your business to the next level. Give him 12 months and they'll take you to the stratosphere, and you'll love this guy. You'll want to take him home with you. So Alex, it's a very impressive bio and accolades and experience and all that. And I love that. And what I love to do is I like to dig deep. You know, that was kind of on the surface. I like to go a little bit deeper, go inside that big, beautiful brain of yours, your brain. And, you know, being an entrepreneur, it's not easy. It's not for everyone. And it takes a different special quality and a different mindset. So for you, when you get up every morning, you have a team, you have multiple businesses and multiple clients that you're working with. So there's a lot of moving parts. There's got to be issues every single day, and you know they're coming. What is it that makes you so highly motivated every single day to get up and just go after it and crush it day in and day out?
I think it starts from the very beginning, Brian, when I always like to tell people that it's easy for me to say, you can do this right now. But I can tell you that I was not supposed to be where I am today with my business. I was not supposed to be this successful entrepreneur. I was not supposed to be this guy that's flying around internationally speaking to the world's top leaders about this topic. I grew on a small farm, you know, just outside of Pittsburgh. I was supposed to marry the high school sweetheart, get the local job, spend 30 or 40 years there, and just really appreciate, have a few kids, you know, have a barbecue, drink on the weekends. But there's always been something about me, Brian, and I even knew it at the youngest age of 9, when I can literally remember my dad joking with me, calling me a follower, and me getting irate and mad. And that was the moment, whether I realized it or not, that I was born to lead. And what I have found over my career, through the ups and downs and all the different things, is that when you really understand that you were born to lead, and when you truly find the way that you were meant to lead, the way that you're meant to impact, and the way that you're make the difference, it just makes it easier, even on the tough days. Easier to get up at 4 o'clock, to go work out for those 2 hours, then to see my little 2-year-old there and see him before he goes to daycare, then get to the office, then talk to the team, then talk to the clients, and get online. This is the hour number 13 of talking today. So you do it because you remember the story, you remember the why, but more importantly, you invest even more into making sure you become a master of what you're helping people with.
I can feel it. Oh my God, the passion's there. We got a bunch of people commenting. Jason Nast. All right, this is the founder of the Big Insider Secrets, who gives away that vacation stay every week. How you doing, Jason? Mind, body, and business is a synergistic living. Oh, and he was getting excited. Woo woo! Can't wait. We have Bonnie Roberts. Yes, love reading. Oh, good, good. And she wanted to say hello to both of us. How you doing, Bonnie? Hey, Brian and Alex.
Hello, Bonnie.
And Jason said the same thing. And another gentleman named ST is on. Hey, Alex, it's great to meet you. I know ST personally. He worked with my company for a while as an apprentice, an amazing young man who's always looking to up his game in marketing and writing in books. So phenomenal people coming on. Keep those comments, questions coming throughout the show. We'll get to as many as we can. We want to get this guy. We want to get inside that brain. We want to find out more because did you see the passion as he was explaining what he does? He loves getting up at 4 a.m. to work out because that leads into the rest of his day where he makes an impact, not only on his son's life before he goes off to work, gets to say goodbye and buy a little one and head off to daycare and then go to meet with his team, who is, his extended family. These are people that he cares about. And he's there to help them so they can help build the business together. I just feel a team synergy about you, Alex. I don't even know you, but you come off as a person that's there to help everybody involved, not just yourself.
Yeah, the biggest advice I tell people when it comes to having a team, because actually the first company I started and sold, true story, the team I had, I didn't give them a single dollar for 8 months.
Ooh.
Nothing. And they showed up to work every single day and doing the work that we had. And when we finally sold it, even though they didn't, quote unquote, have equity ownership in the company, I gave them so much of it because it would have not been possible if it wasn't for them. And the advice I would tell everybody, regardless if it's a business team, regardless if it's your family team, regardless if you're a sports coach, is that, listen, our job is not to have them work for us. Our job is to help them make their dreams come true, because if we help them make their dreams come true, I assure you, they will do anything to make your dreams come true. Clients, teams, anyone.
I love it. It's so in alignment with everything I believe as well. It's about, I'm a big fan of positive reinforcement versus negative as one example, where even with coaching little kids, I love kids. I have since I was a youngster myself. I just love, a young adult. I loved working with them with sports, teaching them, coaching them. And if I had a kid that was doing everything they could, but they weren't making a basket, for instance, in basketball practice, I never got on them. I said, you're doing everything you can. Don't worry, it'll come. At the other end of the court is an adult guy, like a much older 30, 40-year-old man, coaching his team, yelling at them for every mistake that, he perceived to be a mistake. And I thought, wow, those poor kids. I wish they could just come over here. And I always say this with my team, Alex. I always say, you never work for me. You work with me. Mm-hmm. We are in this together. And so when you said that about, focusing on them and what they're looking for, that's what I love to do as well. And you're right. People will love working with you and building that together because they feel like they have a piece of it, even if you haven't physically given them one. And I think that's why it's working so well for you. I love this. This is phenomenal. So you have a unique approach to business, and I want to get into that in a little bit. But what got you to go? You came through you were a coach, a swimming coach at one point, and you ended up getting into these businesses and crushing it. How did you tell me about that from being a swimming coach to where you are today? What was that transformation? What led you to where you are now?
The one thing I talk to every single leader about is your intuition and what you feel is the right path. And I believe it was Steve Jobs at the Stanford graduation who said, you don't know how you're going to connect the dots looking forward. You got to look, you're only going to be able to connect the dots looking backwards. And one of the things that I found from my swim coaching career was that at the end of the day, it didn't matter if I knew the best swim technique. It didn't matter if I knew the best recruits. What mattered was my ability to be able to lead men and women, and particularly at that point, young men and women, and particularly the most talented swimmers in the country who had high expectations for themselves. It is not I would imagine most people don't think of the path of being a swim coach to a business entrepreneur to building multi-million-dollar businesses. It's like, that doesn't even make sense. Like, shouldn't you have done this? And shouldn't you have done that? And shouldn't you have the internship? But what I found, what it allowed me to do was focus on what I really believe is the meta skill that every single person that's listening to this right now has. And that is, they were born to be a leader. And for me, I was able to discover what I call that success DNA, that specific leadership traits that work for me, that work for how I lead, and ultimately how I can best impact lives. And what I honestly discovered was, when I failed, when I didn't achieve success, I was going against those traits. I was going against what came naturally to me. I was going against the best way for me to operate. It wasn't until I just basically went all in on that, what works for me. And what I find for most entrepreneurs is that they're just fighting themselves. They're building businesses that are fighting against them. And honestly, all of this comes back from when I was a swim coach. And just to give you an idea, there's 4 strokes in swimming. There's butterfly, backstroke, breaststroke, and freestyle. And so it's natural to see somebody was better at freestyle than they were at butterfly, and etc. But we talk about building business as if it's just a one cookie butter. I like to call it the IKEA direction steps. Basically, there's only one way you do it. There's only one way, and that's how it works for everybody. And yet, if you look at the industry, 4 to 5 are not going to make it past 1 year. And 4 to 5 of those that make it one past year are not going to make it past 5 years. We need to change the way we focus on how actually people build successful businesses. That's my vision. That's my mission. And that's why I know time and time again, we focus on leadership.
Fantastic. Goodness sakes. It tells you why he's so successful. He's thinking about different, businesses in a different way. It's not about him, all about him, all about him. That's key in so many businesses. And in fact, here's the thing. You get so much more done when you're not thinking about yourself, because isn't it true, Alex, that we would do far more for others than we do for our own selves?
Yeah.
I mean, over and over and over. How many times, I can't tell you. I'll be talking with a buddy like Jason, who's watching right now, Jason Nast, or another business entrepreneur, and we're just talking about a certain marketing technique, and I'm like, why don't you try this? And you just rattle it off like it was so simple. Mm-hmm. It just came easily, and it happens all the time. But then when the tables turn and they ask you to look inward on your business, what would you do for yourself? Like, I don't know. It's so weird, but you can do so much for others. Yet when it comes to doing it for yourself, it's like freeze. Mm-hmm. That's why it's beautiful. If you just concentrate on others, then you can create a thriving business. And one person said something really great. It's like, they actually think about, when they're working with somebody, they don't think about their client. They think about their client's clients. Mm-hmm. It's like, wow, that was phenomenal. And go ahead. If you have something to expand on that.
It reminds me, I think the lesson's there and everybody's missing it. And one of my favorite, you talked about books. One of my favorite books is Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. And there's a quote that, for everybody that's taking notes, I would write this quote down, that you're going to make more friends in 2 months getting to know them than you will in 2 years getting them to know you. And the example I love to think about is social media marketing. So much of the focus, and you know where I'm going, Brian, where I'm going. And it's literally in my foundational programs, it's the same message. They come in and say, Alex, I need more likes. Alex, I need more engagement. How can I write a post like this? How can I do I need a copywriter? Do I need better pictures? Do I need this? And I say, how many hours are you spending? And it's amazing. So many solopreneurs are spending 5 to 10 hours. I said, here's what you do. Spend 30 minutes creating your content for the week, and then spend whatever hours you were going to do to create that content, reaching out to everybody, liking their post, commenting on their post, being authentic with their engagement. Mm-hmm. And tell me if you do that for 30 days straight, that you don't generate more business doing that than just trying to come up with the best content strategy there. It's about them. You are 100% right, Brian.
And, it just brought to mind, as we're doing this show right now, a fairly new app has come out that's all the rage, called Clubhouse. And for anyone who's been on Clubhouse, it is very much like what you just described, Alex, for what I've experienced thus far. And it is people that aren't there selling themselves. They're there providing value for everyone listening without looking or asking for business. I mean, we've got Grant Cardone that's come on several times. I've been in a room with Grant Cardone twice. Like, where else can you do that? It's a room online, of course, but it's all audio. and but it's live, and you can converse back and forth. Damon Johns from Shark Tank was on a while back. I mean, Elon Musk was even on just a few days ago. But the thing is that one with that platform, it seems to somehow naturally get people to do what you're just saying, which was to be more of a giver than a taker, is what I was getting from that, and to serve others. Yeah, and even Jason. Yes, it's all about who we serve, who we serve, and who they serve. And there is nobody better that I know on the planet besides you, of course, my friend.
And Jason,
yes.
like we're brothers there, whether we realize that or not.
And he is. Wait, he's my brother first. All right, just move over. No, I'm kidding. He's a dear friend of mine. He was literally sitting right next to where I'm at right now here a couple weeks ago, and amazing man. But he's just like you in the fact that he thinks about serving. This guy has a heart of gold, and that's, I love working with people like you and him. It's amazing. Oh, Bonnie loves your energy. I love it. So do I. Oh my goodness. Yes. And Alex, you have a great name. My son's middle name is Alex. So
I wish I could take credit, but I gotta give credit to my parents for that one.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Here we go. The bromance is on. So brother from another mother. All right. That's enough, you two. Okay. So I'm just having fun. So yeah, I totally concur with you, Alex, in your approach of serving. And yeah, I know when you get on like Facebook and other social media, like how many times have you gotten a direct message from someone you've never met who just wants to say hi, just to get you to engage so that they can pitch you? It's like happens so many times. They're trying to bait you, and I just ignore those. It's like, don't be that person. Those of you watching, listening, most of you that watch and listen to the show aren't that way. But if those times come up and you think about them, go the other way and instead reach out and ask how you, and be authentic. As Alex said, be authentic and ask how you can help or serve them. Everyone can use help, no matter how wealthy, how successful. Every single person on this planet who is a human being can use some help, and you might very well have the solution to help them. Have you found that to be true as well, Alex?
I have, and I actually have a great story about all the direct messages. You and I probably receive hundreds of messages from people selling. And I can remember this was about 4 years ago. I mean, I used to just be like delete and, telemarketers calling and, oh, you don't sell to me. Oh, I'm with this. And then I actually took a step back and I was asking myself, what are these people trying to do? They're trying to maybe take care of their families. They're trying to grow a business. They're trying to achieve their own dreams. And yet the sad thing is at some point they got horrible advice. They send these sleazy sales tactics. They send these sleazy direct messages. They try to switch and bait you, or bait and switch you. I always get that backwards. So I decided at that point to, instead of be the guy that was going to say something horrible to them or yell at them or do anything like that, I actually changed my approach. And I found it's actually helped me make a difference for some people. And what I would do is now I don't do it as much because I'm not checking those messages, but my team does. And I've actually kind of given them that empowerment to do it, is send them actually a really nice message and saying, hey, we have no interest in what you're selling, but we clearly know that you're doing this to make a difference in your life, in your family's life, and those that matter. So we hope nothing but the success as you continue to sell. And what's happens, honestly, is we get more messages coming back. And it's not about them working with us. I'm not going to lie. We've had a few that decided to join our programs. But the reason we did it was because I believe that one of the reasons why they continue to sell like that is because people are yelling at them, screaming at them, and they almost like saying, well, they're just beaten down. So they can't think of any other ways to actually interact with people. And I found that we've had people even tell us later that changed the way they spoke. That's the way they changed the way they'd sell. So, we talk about this world of impact. All of us are impact. But listen, impact is not income always. Impact is doing things just because you want to make that person's day better. So everybody here, take just 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Ask yourself, if you were literally trying to show up just trying to make people's days better, that's at the end of the day, that's all leadership is. If you're doing that, your business will thrive without even trying as hard as many people are doing.
Preach it, brother. I'm just listening and basking in this. This is amazing stuff. I hope everyone out there is writing like with writer's cramp right now. I'm taking notes as well. what would you say? I've got to ask this. It just led me to think about certain books I've read on leadership. What would be, if you were to pick just one, and you only get one choice, that you would tell someone, and I'll ease up on that, to start reading on leadership? What would be your go-to book to say, here, I think you should start reading by reading this book first?
So there's two books. I'm going to cheat, but there's two books because and I'm going to say it differently there. I'll explain why, I promise. If your challenge is truly creating clarity, connection, and conviction in others, I do believe How to Win Friends and Influence People is by far the best book on that type of topic when it comes to leadership. If you're struggling to learn how to operate, then I would say read Good to Great, because I believe the hedgehog concepts and how they operate the business really aligns with many people's patterns. Those are my two favorite books. I'm going to basically shamelessly plug that I'll be writing my book, which will be coming out this upcoming holiday season. It'll be called SuccessDNA, and I will tell you, it will knock the blocks off both books. I respect those books, but the one thing I'm telling them about leaders, and this is my big theme with most leaders, is that just like you said, the mind only works well if the body is appropriately able to work. And yet the leader is not able to lead effectively if the body, AKA the business, is not aligned with how they're supposed to lead. And that's what my book is going to be about. But right now, those are the two books I would say go to, run to them, read them. I literally read those books every single year. And that's 20 years, going on 20 years.
All right. One more time, if you don't mind. What was the name of the first book?
How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. It's not quote unquote a leadership book, but it's the best book when it comes to creating clarity, connection, and conviction in others. And then the book, if you want to learn how to best operate a business as a leader, is Good to Great by Jim Collins.
Jim Collins. And the third book is going to be Success, and I didn't catch the last part.
SuccessDNA. So.
Okay, I got you.
So, yeah.
So, look, I can be trained. It is possible. And this is great stuff. You know, a lot of people don't recognize. So here's a couple things. You know, there's a lot of solopreneurs out there right now. They're just getting started. That they're like, why would I even worry about leadership right now? It's because you're going to need it really fast. If you're going to succeed, and the only reason you're doing this is to succeed, you're going to burn out so fast you won't know what hit you. And it's great to learn and be ready and have leadership skills at the ready. So when you do build that team that you will need to help you to grow, there's no doubt about it. So definitely heed Alex's advice and read those 3 books. So in order to get the third, in fact, I forgot to mention in the opening show, Alex has an amazing gift for all of you as well. So stick on to the end. You do not want to miss this. It's a very high value gift. It's valued at $500. I cannot wait to spring it on everyone. So stick around to the end, and you'll see it then, along with how to win that 5-night stay at a 5-star luxury resort. I'll say it again. Compliments of thebiginsidersecrets.com. My brother, Jason Nast, is the owner of that company. Just had to throw that little dig in there again. Oh, we got some people talking. Yes. Oh, look at this. See, ST says, I'm ready to help. He's got the helping heart. I know he does. An incredible way to handle it. I'm not sure what we were talking about at the time. Good to great is amazing. Brandon Shepard, thank you for that, for bringing that in. Yes, sales leadership at MTV gave it to the entire team.
Wow.
I'm not sure what is MTV, like music television, or is that something else?
Yeah, I don't know, but I think he's talking about he gave the book to his entire team. So
yes,
referring to.
That's great. And then communication is important for leadership. That is so true. And the other thing about leadership in a company is, you know, as you're building your company, even as a solopreneur, what is your business culture going to be like? How are you going to treat people? Are you going to be someone are you going to have an inviting culture? Are you going to allow people to be creative and take ownership from that vantage point? Are you going to be lifting and promoting people? Or are you going to be one of those oppressive people that rules by fear? You know, if you don't do this, then, you know, you're not going to get that raise, or you may get fired. There are all these different leadership skills. I found a sweet spot. It's always positive based. Is there ever a time where you have to instill discipline? Yeah, still happens. Not everybody's perfect, but if you do enough upfront labor, work on yourself in screening individuals, that's part of leadership, to ensure that they're a fit for your company before you hire them, then you have far fewer of those problems. Am I getting anywhere close to the mark with any of this, Alex, from your vantage point?
100%. And what's so interesting, Brian, when we talk about this idea of leadership is so many people want to categorize leadership. They want to talk about authoritative leadership, or they want to talk about servant leadership. They want to talk about, peer-to-peer, mentorships and all these different styles. And as if we need to put a label on leadership. So let's break the label here and let's just create a definition. Very simple definition that we can start with. And very simply, the definition I give everybody about leadership is this, is that leadership is using your talents to deeply impact lives. Now, if we keep the definition that simple, what it means is it gives you the breadth to use what your talents are, what your gifts are to impact lives. We've talked so much about solopreneurs, and my challenge for everyone is to start calling yourself solo leaders, because even if you are a solopreneur right now, listen, why do you think a client's going to want to buy your services? Why do you think a client's going to want to work with you? Why is that big name going to want to partner with you? They want to partner with people that they know, like, trust, but most importantly, respect. And respect isn't about money. Respect isn't about position. Respect isn't about authority. Yes, I understand having some of these things does help. But I can tell you, even with the clients I work with, some of them have no clients. And they are getting sponsored by companies like Google and Thinkific and all these major organizations because they are excellent role models that these organizations want to get behind. Leadership, to me, forget marketing and sales. And I know this is a bold statement because, listen, I own a digital marketing sales company. I can appreciate it. But if you ask me, what's the only thing you need to be at least successful in business? It's leadership. It's the one thing that you cannot get rid of in an organization.
Oh, man. Preach it. This is amazing. I knew this would be a great show, and you have not disappointed in the least. I knew you wouldn't, and I never get disappointed by any of my guests, but you're bringing it, and I love it. You have a great, unique view on leadership, and I'm guessing you're actually pulling from your own book right there. That's going to be a phenomenal book. I love everything you're talking. I love how you said know, like, and trust and respect. Oh, that was huge. Massive, very powerful. Like I added one to what was it? Taking action, right? So you must take massive, immediate, and consistent action. Mm-hmm. And so when you said respect, I was like, yes, that's it. No, like, trust. That's a whole different ball game. That's a big leap from just trust is respect. Respect and trust must be earned. That's a powerful one. Leadership is using your talents to deeply impact lives. I hope everyone wrote it down. I'm running the show. You know what? I'm the director, the producer, the talent, the host, the creator, all that fun stuff. And I'm still writing. I'm doing camera switches and looking at comments and bringing them up. If I can do all that, you can at least write notes, can't you? I'm talking to everyone else, not you, Alex. I know that you don't need to write these notes. You're giving them to us. This is phenomenal.
But I do. It's funny. I just to say it, I do. How many of us have, like, everyone that's here, just like literally in the comment box, type a 1 if when you're, whether it be an interviewed or you're talking to somebody, all of a sudden a great idea pops into your head. All of a sudden something genius comes up. So literally, if you saw my desk, it is a whiteboard. And you'll see me, like, occasionally, sometimes you'll see me, I literally would say something and I write it down. Because it's something I want to remember. It's something that I trust. Oh, this is good. And it's not because it's gold as words. It's literally something that could spawn a huge idea. I was telling Brian before about the investment firm I've created. And that was based on an idea that I literally read in Harry Potter. Literally read in Harry Potter. There was a line in Harry Potter that made me think of these things. So at the end of the day, we don't know when innovation and spontaneity is going to come. So always literally carry something around you. Carry something so you can just write it down as a reminder for you to make sure you capitalize on.
Brother, you just opened up a whole new line of furniture. IKEA should sell those. A whiteboard desk. I had not heard of that one before. That is phenomenal. I love this. I believe to serve, care, and inspire my clients. Don Hoperich. That is so true. I happen to know him as well.
I love
was
it, Don.
loving this family. He's head of Chamber of Commerce here locally to where I live, and
Okay.
this guy serves. I mean, if you have a business in this area, you're in great hands. Not good hands, great hands, because of Don. He's an amazing man. And I love how you say carry something everywhere you go, because to take notes, this is called a Remarkable 2. It's actually a tablet that's built just for note taking, and I can store multiple massive numbers of notebooks in here, pages. So I don't have to carry one instead of 5 or 6 like I used to. Like, okay, this is a boot camp, or this is another one. I just want to get one-on-one coaching. So that's a different book, notebook, or, depends on. So now I've got one. I just take it everywhere. So that's my whiteboard. It's on my desk all the time, turned on. I love the whiteboard idea. Do you ever put your arm accidentally though down on the ink and get it all over your arm? Or
yeah, every day. So literally, people are like, I always like, yeah, could I dress up nicer? I mean, listen, the bottom line is I'm done with suits. I'm done with ties. I'm done with literally being like the neat, executive, whatever. Listen, I'm me. I'm an athlete at heart. I'm a believer in people. I want to see everybody lead. And sometimes that means getting dirty. So you're right. Like on, client calls, I will literally stop. Because I think at the end of the day, one of the things about leadership is it doesn't have to be polished. It doesn't have to be this picture perfect moment that we see everybody try to do on Instagram. And I'm going to confess, I got a photographer coming in next week that's going to take the best shots of me that probably have ever been in my entire life and make me 10 times better looking than I am today. But the point is that we got to also show the other side. We also got to show that the dirty side. We also got to show the messy side. And, and then one thing I will tell people is that we sometimes get so into comparative analysis of what other people's front stages look like that as leaders, I believe we're in a moment where we need to shift the paradigm. It is time to open up the backstage. It's time to open up what it looks like there. And when I talk to people about, listen, that you can build a multi-million-dollar business only working 2 days a week. And the reason why it's important to do that is because I know even when you hit that mark, you're going to have even bigger dreams. You're going to think of different visions. You're going to have other ideas. You're going to need the freedom and flexibility to be able to go and capitalize on that. So at the end of the day, what I show and what I share about me is not to say, do it like me. It's the design to say, listen, what I'm doing, yes, took hard work, but it also means I can do other things in my life without having to feel so stressed and so anxiety, but also show there are some crappy days. So I hope people understand that this is not easy. And it does not because we have to spend our whole lives doing it, but because emotionally it challenges us as leaders to be more honest with ourselves, show up with greater levels of integrity, and to truly take courageous acts that we may have never done before.
I mean, I have a mic that I could drop right now, but I'm not going to because it would ruin it. But that was phenomenal. And it's so true about authenticity is so important. You just said it in a much greater way that people want to know that you're a human being. If you're like all that, like you were saying, Alex, if they're perfection on Instagram and there is not a hair out of place and the lipstick is unperfect if you're a lady and, there's just no flaw in your life to others, well, they're going to look at you and go, well, you're perfect and I'm not. So I can't achieve what you have. So I'm probably not going to be a good fit to work with you. They want to be able to work with somebody that's like them. That's what part of know, like, and trust is, not just to like you, but to be like you. Give them the ability to be like you. I love that part. And you said, don't be like me. I say, be like Alex. And here's why. Here's the thing. For those of you that have not yet found a recipe for success, here's the thing. If you were I've never baked a cake in my life, ever. But I'm sure I could bake a really darn good one if I had the right recipe. And I love German chocolate cake. I haven't had any in years, but as a kid, I loved that stuff. That was my go-to. And if I were to go look, I bet there are 20 very successful recipes out there that I can create a great cake. 20 of them. When it comes to success, there's no difference. All you need to do is find one recipe that works, one successful recipe, follow it step by step and model it, copy it, follow the instructions. Here's one right here. All you need is one. So you found one. His name is Alex Kuhn. And all you need to do is model what he's doing. That means get involved with him, get involved and learn what he does, how he goes about business. And in a moment, we're going to give you a great way to connect with him at a pretty deep level through a phenomenal gift he's offering everybody who's watching this show. So I highly recommend you take him up on that. And when that comes up, which is coming up all too soon, this show is flying. That's always a good sign. But I say model success, which means copy. So yes, be like Alex, I say, if you don't have yet a recipe for success that you're not already following. If you are following another proven recipe for success, stick with it. Don't go crazy and going off the shiny ball object syndrome, because then you'll just never make it, because you'll start over. Keep going down the path if you found one that works, that you know works, you're certain of it. And if you haven't, you need to contact Alex, and we'll give you the way to do that here in just a moment. That's my 2 cents on don't copy. Come on, man. They got to copy you. You're the one to copy. Yeah, there's the mic drop. Thank you, Jason. Dropping mics, all kinds of mics. I love it. Yes. Fantastic. Yeah, great information, great advice. There's nothing wrong with taking professional headshots. I show up on the show, The Blazer. Do I wear this every day? Heck no. I'm in workout shorts and a tank top most days in my home office studio here. And I only change for this show, but I want to put off a professional appearance. And I am a professional, and I work professionally when I am working with people in business. But yeah, and there's no tie. Forget the tie. No way. But that is me. That is me. I like to wear blazers. My wife will attest. I'll grab one to go to dinner instead of a jacket, a traditional coat. Because I feel good in it. I feel right. So
I love
be
it.
Authentic is the point there. And
my wife would like me to wear more blazers. So that's fair. So she needs to call your wife and say, listen, come yell at me. So
when you get this recording, cut that part out so you don't get in trouble. I don't want any rift going on in the Kuhn family, and I don't want to have any part of being responsible for that. So I'm a family guy, big and true, and I love family. And congrats on your 2-year-old, by the way. That is phenomenal.
Thank you.
My gosh, what an age. Woohoo. God bless you.
Yeah, and I say this with this understanding that, yes, I could probably work out a little bit later in the day, but just having those 30 minutes at the beginning of the day when he's ready to go to school, and I leave the office at 5:00. Doesn't matter what else I could have taken out. I leave the 5 hours because I have those couple hours at the end of the day. I think just a very personal story. About 4 years ago, I didn't know if I was going to be able to have a family. I didn't know if I was going to be able to do this, because I used to think mentally that the reality is that there's so many messages out there that you got to hustle and sacrifice and grind your life away, that I said, maybe to achieve my business dream, maybe to achieve my professional dream is going to require me to give up this family. And I had a great family growing up. So family is very important to me. And so if there's anything that anybody's listening here that you feel like, man, if I try to build a great business, maybe I have to give up something I really also want. And let me just give you advice. Don't. That's what makes you you. That's what's going to be part of that story. You may not know how it's all going to work out today, but trust and understand that the things you really want in your life, they will all fit. They will all fit because it's your paradigm. It's what you want to create. That is the essence of leadership, is creating what you want for whom you want to live how you want. Remember that.
Wow. Oh my goodness. And ladies and gentlemen, I didn't pay him to appear, but I could have, and you could have paid to watch this show. It is that impactful. I'm not kidding. I'm not playing around. This is absolute truth. This young man is full of wisdom, and I call him young man because I just happen to be older, but that doesn't matter. My mentor is actually younger than you, Alex. He could be my son by age, literally. That never has ever. Race, religion, gender, age. None of that plays into my psyche about whether I end up liking a person or doing business with or hanging out with. None of it. It's about what is that person made of? The values, the inner, what makes them tick. Like you, Alex, you're amazing. You're just freaking amazing. And I would love to hang out with you. You would be one of those people where I thought you were much younger than you are. You shared your age with me earlier. I don't know if you did it on the air. I'm not going to, but I thought you were a lot younger than you profess to be. So yeah, you're the Dick Clark of business at the moment. So that's a and you're so humble, and you get it. You didn't have anything to do with the genetics for that, nor did any of us have anything to do with the God-given talents we've been given. We can make them bigger, brighter, and broader by practicing and getting better at those. But we're all given certain gifts, and we're not given all of them. Yeah. And once you realize what those are, and you can emphasize what those are and get better at those, and then give off the other core competencies to those who do have those gifts, that comes by the way of leadership, just like we talked about in the beginning. Yeah, Bonnie is agreeing to all of this, probably what you were saying earlier. Thank you, Bonnie. I love this. This is a lot of fun. I want to find out more about your business. My gosh, we're getting back to the end of the show here. So who is who do you work with? Like, what, I know it's business people, it's entrepreneurs, is it companies? At what stage are they in their business? Are they just starting out, or are they established, or all the above? And then what is the process that you take them through? How do you help them to establish leadership, and how do you help them to crush it in 12 months? I know that's a lot, but you have 2 minutes. No, I'm kidding. You can go longer than that.
Woo. All right. So, and I think it's important. It's, what's so funny about this question is that sometimes I'll answer it completely differently, but let me give you the full scope of how I run my organization. Because I believe at the end of the day, one of the biggest challenges I think most businesses have is they are struggling with capacity. They are creating too many product lines. They're creating too many service lines. They're trying to reach too many target audiences. They're trying to spread their marketing sales message. So the first thing I want you to know is that I run my business with simplicity. It's very simple. And in fact, for those of you, running a multi-million-dollar organization, I have not paid for an ad even. Literally, one of the things everyone tells you have to scale. We don't even use ads. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just saying, giving you an idea of how simple we run our business. Meaning I only have two programs. One's called Born to Lead, which is our foundational program. And the other is called The Vault. And very simply, I work with those entrepreneurs who are really sick and tired of the hustle, the grind, the entrepreneurs that whether they built a successful business or they're stuck at that low 5 or 6 figure business, we help them, number one, find their unique leadership talents and making sure they build a business structure that works for them. The second thing is to show them how they build a leverage product model that is not only perceived as the best in the market, but more importantly, delivers the best results. And then the third thing we do is we make sure that we show them what we call our experiential marketing sales. It's what I use to build a $30 million digital marketing agency. It's what, at this point, we've helped people generate $50 million in their business. At least it's what we've accounted for there. Our vision this year is that make 25 new millionaires, to have over 100 hit the 6-figure mark. At the end of the day, we focus on those 3 pieces because we know, just like a basketball player, if you work on your shooting, dribbling, and rebounding, and you basically continue practicing those 3 things again and again and again and again, you can build the business to the vision that you want. Whether you want to be a solopreneur with only 1 team member working 2 days a week and having as much time with your family and loved ones as possible, or you want to build a multi-billion-dollar organization. Yes, some of the people I do work with are running those types of organizations. But at the end of the day, we keep it very simple. I run my organization very simply, and we do those 3 things better than anybody else on the planet.
Well, there you have it. You heard it right here. It's the best on the planet. And you know what? I have no reason to doubt that that is true. Honestly. Because I can see it and hear it and feel it as Alex is talking. He lives, breathes, eats, and he's full of integrity. His business model only works on results. He's got he is vested in that business, in your business, if you become one of his clients at such a deep level that if you don't win, neither does Alex or his company. That's what I love about these performance-based models. If I can say that, I don't know if that's what you would call it. Okay, cool. And that's what I love about that, because that tells you they cannot fake it and be successful. You know, does he have a 100% success rate? Maybe. It would be difficult to have that. There's so many variables when you have different people in different companies and organizations. But, you know, given his background, Alex's background, his leadership skills, the fact that he knows to dig deep and have them go through an onboarding process and filter out those that may not work, I'd be surprised if he's not at 100%. And it's amazing. I love the model of performance based. There's no way to hide behind it. You know, I don't know if you make guarantees or any of that, but the bottom line is if you don't make it, or if they don't make it, you don't make it, and you're there helping them along the way. You said something about a 12-month program. Is that one of the two that you just mentioned that you have?
Yeah, one of the things that we base our success there's a lot of metrics, and I'm going to show you the one metric that actually matters to me. Actually, I should say two. One is lifetime value of the client. So for everyone that doesn't know that, basically means is how much revenue is that client generating for your business over the lifetime? And two is retention percentage. Very much simply, how long are we retaining clients? And we have a goal with our industries, just so everyone knows, in the coaching and training industry, the average person lifetime value, I think it's like 3,500 or something like that. I read a study somewhere. But on average, most coaches or training organizations keep about 25% of their clients after the first contract. So very simply, they keep them for 1 out of 4. We have a 78% retention rate with our clients, and we keep them on average for 3 years. We also have a very massive high level lifetime value. And let me explain why we do it this way. And these are the metrics, because there's a couple things that are hidden in there that anybody's building a business, I think it's going to be really important for you. So number one, this is going to impact your reputation. And for anybody that doesn't really understand the monetary value of reputation, bad reputation kills businesses overnight. There's a reason why restaurants hate Yelp. And they also love it, depending on how they look at it. So reputation is important. So if you're looking at the metrics that increase your reputation, ultimately it means you're going to run your business differently. Number two, and this is actually just as important, if I am keeping clients within my organization longer and longer and longer, number one, they buy into our messaging. They buy into the way we think. They buy into the way we actually do business. They talk the language. To a certain extent, there's a cult-like feeling within our Born Elite family, in our Vault family. They speak the same language to their friends. Literally, we had a client sign up. He showed up to one of our calls and he said, Alex, I joined up because one of your clients basically gave me your whole system and I implemented it and it's amazing. So I said, well, I better pay this guy. I better join because he's already making me money. So the point is that they spread the message, not because you're trying to force anything referral based. It's this organic referral. And one of the things I always tell all of our clients, and the same thing in our business, for every client we get, they often bring 3 to 5 clients themselves without us doing anything, So if you want to understand what our model looks like, think Amazon in the service business. Nobody is doing it like us, because the more clients we get, more often it kills most people's businesses because it kills their time, it kills their energy. But for us, when we get more clients, it actually feeds us more clients. It actually feeds them a bigger network. And ultimately, our clients win bigger because they bring in more people.
I'm just going to bring you on the show every week from now on.
I'm here, man. I love
every Thursday night, it'll just be the Alex show.
Brian, we can do whatever you want, man. You know me. You can probably tell. I love talking about this. I'm a geek about it. I'm obsessed about it. My wife is probably going to hear me talk about this show afterwards, and she's going to be like, that's great, wonderful. Listen out. So we got to get ready for our son's birthday party this weekend. So get your head on straight. But for those of you that love talking about this, the best, obviously you'll learn it other ways, but come to my website, come to my Instagram there. Even with the 20,000 people now that are on our list, I'm still, the reason I built the business this way is I have a team of 8. What they allow me to do is interact, build relationships, talk to people there. And of course we scale it at some levels, but everybody on that list, probably, I would say 90% of the people that are those 20,000 people, I've at least had one personal message with them.
Fantastic. So we're getting near the end, and I want everyone to basically have the opportunity to grab that free gift of yours now. before it gets too late, if that's okay with you, Alex. So I'm going to bring that up on the screen and just have you walk them through this amazing gift. So everyone, this is the time to write this down quickly, and then right when the show's over to go and fill this out, because we have another prize after this one as well. But I'll put that up on the screen and go ahead and take it away there, Alex.
Yeah, sure. So very simply, that I'm a big believer that information should be available for you. And so I know that the impact I can have on you the most is giving this information to you so you can start it. And hopefully, if there's a point in one day you want that mentorship, you can always join us. But if you go to alex-kuhn.com/mind body business, I'm going to give you literally our entire Success DNA portion of our program for free. It's $500. I don't know if it's I think it's worth way more. I know the difference it's made in most people's lives, but what we're supposed to do is we're supposed to put a value on it, because we don't even sell content. We give content away. And we don't, but this is the thing we don't give away. We don't give away the Success DNA program. This is only because I love Brian. I love his mission. I love the type of people he's working with. And I want to make sure if you literally were courageous enough to listen to me for an hour, then I want to give this to you. It's alex-kuhn.com/mind body business. And if you have any questions, I have an incredible team who will be happy to support you.
Oh, yes. And just for the folks that are listening, this is also good once the live show is over, for as long as Alex decides to keep it there. But if you've listened to this on a podcast and this is not available, reach out to him and see how you can get your hands on this. This is phenomenal. So his last name is Kuhn. That's Kuhn. Just for those of you listening only, Alex-Kuhn, KUHN.com/mind body business, all together, no spaces there. Thank you, my friend. I am going to fill that out right when the show's over. So I'm going to be one of those, because I'm a raving fan already, just in the short time I've gotten to know you. And this is phenomenal. I appreciate you for doing that. This is of above and beyond. And everyone that's watching this, whether it's live, get to it quick. If it's a recording, if you're watching this as a recording, get to it quick before it's no longer available. So I appreciate that so very much. And then before we close the show, and we still have one more gift to give away, I haven't forgotten. Alex, I love to ask this one question at the end, and ask it of every guest expert. And I've really learned that this question has become very powerful and profound, just because I started asking and started realizing, wow, the responses are quite amazing. And I like to end the show that way, because it's like, it's a zinger, and it ends it in a very powerful way. Before I do that, I did promise that final prize. Everyone's been waiting for that 5-night stay at a 5-star luxury resort. So go ahead. You can now take out your phone. We give you permission just for now, if you're not watching on your phone, to bring out your cell phone and bring up your messaging app. I'm holding it up to the screen and you can't see me. That was pretty smart. So bring up your phone and open up your messaging app, and where you would type in the name of the person you're going to text a message to, instead put in the phone number of 314-665-1767. So you may want to write this down, because I'm going to take this screen down in just a moment. Again, you must be watching live for this particular prize. 314-665-1767. And then in the message area where you would actually type in, hey, how's it going? Or put an emoji in there. Instead, put in 2 words separated by a dash. And those 2 words are peak, that's PEAK, dash vacation. No spaces, just peak dash vacation. Then watch your phone for a response, and it will ask you for one more piece of information for you to be officially entered into the contest. And it's not a big deal. It's just your email address. That's all it's asking you for. It's fully automated. So go ahead and write that down, or take care of that right now. And we're coming back to Alex for this phenomenal, heavy-hitting, incredible, amazing question. And there's a lot of build-up to that. But Alex, here's the thing. There is no such thing as a wrong answer to this question. It doesn't exist. It just flat out doesn't. And the exact opposite is the case. Is the only correct answer is your answer. And that's what kind of makes it a bit personal, because it's a personal question. Mm-hmm. So with all that build up and that hype and everything, are you ready?
Ready.
Here we go. Alex Kuhn, how do you define success?
I love this question because at the end of the day, to me, success is very simply this. Success is your vision, only your vision, doing what you want, with whom you want, with how you want to do it, and in the life you want to do it in. So many people look at other people and say they are successful, which ultimately says they don't see themselves as successful. The only person who ever has to define success for themselves is that person. It's not the teacher. It's not your parents. It's not your brother, sister. It's not even your spouse. It's nobody. You're the only person that gets to determine what does success mean to you. So I would ask everybody, instead of listening to what I think success is for you, just ask yourself that question and continue to trust the answer that you keep hearing and feeling day in and day out.
That is some good stuff right there, ladies and gentlemen. We got, let's see, I'll take one last gander. Yes. Here we go. Look at this. Bonnie, action taker, getting started with the course immediately after the show. Bonnie, be sure to hit the contact link on there and let Alex know what a phenomenal course it is. Give him feedback. Let him know how that's going for you, because feedback is what makes programs continually better and improved. So give him the good, and if there's anything can be improved, give him that as well. I know you will do that, Bonnie. You're an amazing person. And yeah, our sponsor, where do you want to go? I love Mexico for 5 nights. He's been several times. Yes, and he has. He's actually gone. He's tested these destinations himself. The sponsor has gone to these destinations and proven to himself that what he is giving us to offer to you is not some slimy little timeshare that they're going to pull you into the back for 5 hours of your weekend that you're there, or however long you're there. No, it's a bona fide vacation stay. You pay for the I can't think of the word, transportation to and from, and just the hotel, I think the resort fees, I think they're called. Very little amount of money, and then the resort is on Jason. Yeah, so just do that. Oh, yeah. Bonnie says she'll be sending you her testimonial. Fantastic. That's how it works. All right. This has been phenomenal. I hate to bring it to an end, but, out of respect, I know, my gosh, it's like 9:30 in Pittsburgh, PA, and you've got a 2-year-old that's probably already asleep. I hope not, so you can say goodnight. And your wife's probably tapping her foot saying, where is Alex? You said 9:30 you were going to be back. Come on. So I appreciate you. And Alex, please, in all seriousness, tell your wife I said thank you for allowing me to share you with her for this time and giving us this wonderful hour of unbelievable wisdom. You are wise well beyond your years, and I'm not kidding in the slightest on that. You're an amazing gentleman, and I look forward to getting to know you deeper as the years go on, my friend. So this is just the beginning. Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Kuhn. Be sure to take him up on that offer. If you haven't seen that, then rewind on the recording and the audio, go back and listen to that. And we will see you on the next edition of the Mind Body Business Show. On behalf of this amazing man, Alex Kuhn, I am your host, Brian Kelly, and we will see you again next time. Until then, so long and be blessed, everybody. Bye-bye for now. Thank you for tuning in to the Mind Body Business Show podcast at www.themindbodybusinessshow.com. My name is Brian Kelly.